The area around the Santa Teresa airport has seen a major boom in recent years.
The expanding port of entry and airport and railroad facilities have turned it into a hotspot for warehouses and industrial use. But now there's a problem. It's almost out of warehouses that are move-in ready for new business. ABC 7's Andrew J. Polk investigates in tonight's special report.
The ribbon cutting of a new business coming to the logistics park at Santa Teresa has been a common sight over the last few years, but this might be the last one for some time. That's because after years of booming demand, Santa Teresa is running out of space.
It's been an incredible run during the last 5 to 7 years. We've gone from 800,000 square foot of empty space out here in a 3.3 million square foot industrial base to our last 8,000 square feet available.
There's still plenty of land available out here at Santa Teresa. Problem is, no investors want to build empty warehouse space on the thought that someone might move in. That's due in no small part to the conditions back in the industrial market in El Paso. Warehouse and industrial properties in El Paso and Santa Teresa compete for many of the same tenants, and a number of large vacancies in El Paso are holding the Santa Teresa market down. Case in point, the former Hoover warehouse and manufacturing plant, nearly 500,000 square feet of rent-depressing available space.
I think the major growth that we saw in the last 2 years will slow down because there's not the availability of space for new tenants.
The hundreds of thousands of vacant square feet in the Hoover plant and others like it in El Paso means it's just too risky for developers to consider building in Santa Teresa right now. The region as a whole has a vacancy of top-tier warehouse space at 12.5%, while Santa Teresa is sitting at 99.8% full. That's also keeping rents down at about $4.50 per square foot a year for the region, while modern construction costs and rate of returns require rent closer to $5.50 per square foot. Something's got to give, and industry analysts say demand always wins out in the end.
We don't have any expectation that the demand out there decreases. I think there's a really long-term story, a really positive long-term story with the growth of the intermodal business.
Well, we're not done. We have so much land. We're still doing build-to-suits. We're still selling properties for companies that are going to build their own buildings.
With the border crossing, railroad, and expanded runways on the horizon for the nearby airport, Santa Teresa is still looking like a logistics mecca for our region. Andrew J. Polk, ABC 7.
Pacheco says that there will be a groundbreaking for another company relocating to Santa Teresa in the first quarter of this year.